Hi, I'm very fond of quotes, particularly inspirational quotes, and there is this one I swear by, and it's very interesting and very deep. So George Bernard Shaw had said, youth is wasted on the young, but when you see Sara Ali Khan, definitely not. Hi, Sara.
Hello, thank you for such a lovely introduction.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, one, you're a Leo girl, and you keep yourself very, very busy, and I think you're this one person I see and meet who's very particular about what you want to do with your time and what you want to do with your youth. Is that true?
100%.
Yeah.
There's so many things I want to do with my life, not just my youth.
Yeah.
And this is the youngest I'll ever be, you know. So yeah, there is that do or die, karo ya maro spirit in me, I like to believe.
That's a nice plug, karo ya maro.
It's true, you know, the stakes are of course very different. We're very lucky people, we live in a free country, so we can't mimic the stakes of 1942.
Yeah.
But that spirit is a timeless thing, which is also what's interesting about this movie.
Yeah.
It's not just a celebration of the freedom struggle.
Yeah.
It's not just an ode to the unsung heroes.
Yeah.
It's not just an inspirational story of 1942. It's a very relevant story because these ideas of belief in yourself, especially as a woman, belief in your own spirit, the need to always have your standards high. If you remove the context of the freedom struggle, it's an equally relevant story. So I definitely stand by that for sure.
So Sara, when you got offered this role, the director is Kannan Iyer, take us through the first 1 month of being offered that role. How did it all sink in, and how did you go about the technique of playing a biopic, playing somebody who's a revered personality in the history of independent, actually both pre and post-independent India?
So, first thing that I'd like to clarify is it's not a biography.
Okay.
So while Usha Mehta is an extremely celebrated person, she's a lady that I have immense respect for, me and Kannan sir were very sure that this story has to be inspired by the life of Usha Mehta.
Okay.
It's not out and out her biopics. It's also a period of only 3-4 months of her life that we've showcased.
Okay.
Actually. So more than just her biography, we have kind of used the character Usha, inspired by Usha Mehta, as just a character that goes through the beats of the Indian freedom struggle. To me as a history student, it's so interesting because when you freedom struggle bolte ho, I suddenly see a really strong, fit man.
Yeah.
You know, but the idea of showing the most soft skills of the freedom struggle, the most soft ideas, the idea that bravery, sacrifice and strength can also come from femininity.
Yeah, yeah.
The sacrifice of love, the sacrifice of your family, the oath of celibacy, the Gandhian nature that she embodied
she
and
never
other
married,
people
right.
embodied.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think it's things like that that our film seeks to address also, along with just the fact that it's Usha Mehta's inspired story.
Yeah.
Which is why I feel, you know, I asked Kannan sir also that should we do a Gujarati accent?
Yeah.
Should we try to be more authentic and organic to Usha Mehta's life? And he said no. This is a pan-India story of any young girl.
Ah, nice.
It is inspired by Usha Mehta, but it could be any young girl. So you speak Hindi and you bring your spirit of do or die to the screen, because this film is of course about 1942, but the emotions that this film echoes are equally relevant in 2024, where we need to inspire women, children, the youth, men, everybody to just have a voice and stand by what they believe is right.
So on 14th of August 1942, Usha and some of her close associates began the secret Congress radio, a clandestine radio station. So basically, the British didn't know of this radio station, which was operational and was connecting with the Aam Aadmi, Indian of the country everywhere in India, and the British didn't know about it. The first words broadcast in her voice, Usha Mehta's voice, were, "This is the Congress radio calling on wavelength of 42.34 megahertz somewhere in India." And she actually did get caught, and 4 years she was in prison.
So you will see a little bit, in our epilogue, you will see a little bit of your 1946, which is when she was released. But most of it is set in 1942, and this extremely palpable threat of, first though she decided that she'll broadcast at 8:30. Because that is the time, शाम को 8:30 बजे जब पूरी जनता एक साथ हो.
Prime time thing.
You know, because that is the time. If I have half an hour to galvanize forces all over the nation, And especially during the Quit India movement, it was very important. There was this one specific broadcast where the Bharat Roko ka Ailan was going to come. And the way, and people all over the country were waiting for this Ailan. And this Ailan was going to come during her broadcast. And the stakes of knowing that at any time, trailer mein it's there also. Find those behind the radio and hang them. So anybody, so she knew she was under the very palpable death penalty threat.
Yeah.
And then to operate under that, and that's why she said Hindustan mein kahin se kahin pe Hindustan mein, which is my line in the film as well, because it's like kahin se kahin pe Hindustan mein.
Is there one day of shoot that you would vividly remember all your life?
The day that I took the shapat, the brahmachari ki shapat, Gandhi ji se, and I did the whole shapat. I remember that day vividly.
What do you do on 15th August and 26th January? What's your patriotism on a visibly patriotic day like?
I think it's just, you feel, honestly, we're lucky to feel those emotions every day.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, especially me, I'm a very secular person. I love my visits, whether it's Ajmer Sharif, whether it's Mahakal, whether it's Bangla Sahib. So I think just being able to openly say that I am proud to be an Indian, and thank you to all those that gave up their lives and livelihood for giving me the biggest privilege, which is freedom.
Yes.
I think that's the only way to celebrate it.
Yeah. I have just one thing that I want to say. Why not visit our old age homes and orphanages, particularly on these 2 days? Because those are those neglected Indians that are just languishing somewhere.
You know, there is an orphanage in town called Bal Asha.
Yeah.
And I visit that orphanage quite often. And I think that they do some lovely work. And I think that, you know, the main thing is, of course, like Independence Day, Women's Day, Children's Day, birthdays, these are days. But the truth is that love and warmth is something that I get every day of my life. So it's not just about these days. Any day that anyone can go and just spend 15 minutes with those children, give them a coloring book and just make a joke with them, it really makes a difference. And I've seen that happen.